Welcome to Shoot the Breeze, a podcast that celebrates the messiness of life, relationships, and Christianity. It's creatively titled because it will be just us shooting the breeze, sometimes with guests, while occasionally saying something important. We hope you enjoy. I had dad jokes that you have to scratch off to reveal the punchline. Mm-hmm. I was going to do that like a couple with you. And Lydia's like, Dad, are these yours? I'm like, yeah, they're mine. She's like, I'm going to go hide them. I'm like, I need them for the podcast.
You just want to look up some? And you want me to guess?
I cannot wait to go to the beach next week.
Then you need a vacation from your vacation. So what are you going to do about that?
No. Today's one of those days. I'm like, what if I changed my ministry to just Bible stuff? Like where I didn't have to deal with people.
Or beach ministries. You literally just stay on the beach.
Still don't want to deal with people.
I always had questions about that one, though.
What?
Beach ministries.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. We had an old senior pastor too which like I get it, like, you know, take the gospel to the ends of the earth, but he was like hardcore pushing for like England, like like England proper, you know, I guess if you want to say that. I was always like, is that,
dude, Europe is super godless.
I know, but like
that's where it's
his. So I guess it also plays in like, man, how much ministry time are you actually spending versus like sightseeing? Because knowing him, and there are people that can attest to this, was a sightseer.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Then yeah, I mean that's.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I have my questions.
Your theories?
I have my theories.
Ooh, I've not done this before. There we go.
Was that heater?
Keep it hot.
There you go.
Keep it like it's hot. Keep it like it's hot. Oh, hey, behind you is a wooden cover. Can you hand that to me?
Only if you allow me to...
Nope. Up on top. Sorry. Up on...
Oh, I know where it's at.
Oh, you're stealing food. Got it. Hey, man, I understand.
I won't eat a snack, but I am going to take a drink.
Yeah. I don't think I have anything.
It's, yeah.
Dude, I have water.
In here, huh?
I have water. Here.
Oh, great.
Oh, here. You just have a gallon. All right, gym rat.
Let me write on the sides of it. You can do this. Keep it up. You seen those?
Not yet. You're almost there. Good job.
Good job, Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Nate.
First time chatting with you, man.
That's right.
Good to see you. This is the first time we've ever spoken.
Ever. Yeah.
And I thought, you know what? There's a guy named Kevin. First time I want to talk to him, I want it to be recorded.
On a podcast,
so there's
baby.
Evidence.
Just really fully submerge him.
No, I do have a question that I usually ask people if it's their first time. What's your favorite way to waste time?
My favorite way to waste time?
Yeah.
I really love to fish.
Okay.
But my wife would say it's phone games, like playing games on my phone.
Oh, yeah. What's your favorite one?
Oh. Right now, I don't even know the name of it, if I'm being honest with you. It's like a card collecting game. You play the game through, and you're like trying to collect these cards to build your team up.
Pokemon?
It's not Pokemon. My mom always said that rots my brain, so I don't play that. You know, I just find several other things that'll rot my brain.
As long as you don't play that or watch Harry Potter, you're fine. You know,
it's all witchcraft, baby.
Witchcraft, baby. Okay, so playing games, fishing. Have I told you the story? Have I told you my beef with fishing?
You never catch anything? I don't know. No, you haven't.
No. It's not just that. It's the only thing that makes me question my value and identity as a human, fishing. Because it's not just I can't catch anything.
Right.
That anyone cannot catch anything, okay?
100%.
I do it spectacularly, okay? So I have my brother-in-law who is a fishing guide in Kenai River, Alaska, like professional, phenomenal. This guy, he goes fishing before he takes other people fishing and then goes fishing after fishing.
Nice.
Right? And he's brilliant at it, really good.
Of course.
I have another friend who, lifelong Alaskan, fishes, family's been there, phenomenal fisherman. Same thing, pastor up there. They have both taken me fishing. They're, hey, do you want to go fishing? I'm like, yeah, I'm terrible at it, but honestly, I enjoy, I'll go for the company. That's why. And they're like, oh, come on, you can't be that bad. I'm like, no. Let me explain. I have not caught anything.
You've never caught a single thing ever? Like, not even like a turtle or something like that?
Like a panfish when I was on the lake growing up in Wisconsin. But, like, that's it. I did go deep sea fishing one time, halibut fishing, and I caught a Irish lord. Do you know what Irish lord is?
I know what that means. And what
Yeah.
that is,
Oh,
yeah.
hold on.
Look it up.
Oh, hold on. I got to show you. This
Ugly fish.
Oh, it's not ugly. It is ugly, but you can't even touch it because it will
Slimy or bite you.
it'll sting you.
Oh.
So let me see here. Irish lord fish. There it is. Okay, let me pull it up over here so you can see it. I love our internet here. It's awesome.
What?
Are you serious?
What search provider are you? Brave?
Yeah.
What is that?
How is it not pulling that up? Whatever. I'll go to Wikipedia. They're reliable.
Oh.
But it has these
It
spines
looks
on
like
it.
like a
Hold on.
stonefish. You ever
Hey.
seen a stonefish?
Is our internet doing something weird?
There's apparently some like nodules that'll be out or something like that is what Andrew said, I thought.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay, let me try this. Fish. Okay. Oh, there we go. Yeah, see those spines?
Yeah.
Right along there? Anyways, like, you have to... Basically, what I would do is take my thing and beat it against the side of the boat until it
Heck
fell
yeah.
off. Okay, fishing.
Someone called PETA.
Yeah. I signed Scott up for his birthday. Fishing. Okay. Both of these guys. The one guy, my friend, who's not the fisherman as a living, just a pastor, but loves fishing. He's like, I got some secret stuff that every fish come right to it. Like the salmon that all the fish will come right to it. I'm like, all right, I'll try it. Do the thing. And here's the thing. I can put bait on. I know how to do that. I know how to cast. Like, everything looks good.
Yeah.
And my friend's like, all right, yeah, got it. Nailed it. Bloop. Everyone around me. Him. Right? Me. He's like, hold on. Let me make sure. Pull it back in. Bait's still there, right? His special sauce, right? He marinates his bait like for weeks. Anyways,
Really good idea.
he's like, hold on, let me try it. He pulled it off,
Yeah.
put it on his. And I'm like, okay.
impressively bad.
He puts more on mine. Cast it out. He goes, hold on. Let me cast it out for you. He casts it out. Here, all right, here you go. And I'm like, okay. And I'm doing like all the things you make it jump, whatever, anything that he was telling me. I'm like, yeah, I got it. Nothing. And he goes, I'll be honest with you. I've taken a lot of people fishing who can't fish. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, no, that's usually the answer. My brother-in-law, professional fisherman, he's like, Nate, I got this.
Yeah.
I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
So same thing. He has a special bait, special spot, man, they're just starving. They've never eaten in their life. He's like, I got you. Same thing. Cast out. Him and a few other people that we were with. Cast it out. Me.
All catching.
He's like, oh, you know what you're doing wrong. You know what you're doing. It's in your cast. Let me cast it out for you. I'm like, okay, Tyler. So he casts it. All right, there you go. There you go. You got it. Man. This is crazy. I've never seen this before. And I'm like, yeah, no, thank you. I'm super special. Thanks. But seriously, that's my experience fishing. Yeah. So it's like the only thing when someone's like, hey, do you want to go fishing with me? I'm like, I will absolutely come for the fun, the banter.
Will
I'll
there
bring
be
food.
snacks?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's your...
I'll come for snacks. Oh, you don't like fishing? That's not a question.
The fish don't like me.
Anyways, it's really funny because my wife, who grew up fishing, loves fishing, never once got invited in Alaska to go fishing.
Interesting.
I would constantly get invited. And I'm like, you guys actually want Lacey. She's actually good. She catches stuff. Nate, no, come on. It'll be fun. Anyways, I hate fishing. I like going fishing.
There you go.
I hate fishing.
It's a great way to waste time. Unless you're doing it professionally. I mean, then you're not really wasting time, are you?
Anyways, that's my... No, thanks for bringing fishing up. No, I appreciate it. Good for you.
Coffee intermission.
Oh, that's hot. Have it on my warmer.
Keep it on your warmer.
Okay, fishing, playing games. That's your...
Yeah, those... I mean... Yeah, I guess you don't consider, like, parenting a hobby, huh?
Yeah.
It's kind of a job.
Who are you and what do you do?
I am Kevin Flagel. I'm the youth pastor here at Hill Country Fellowship, and I'm the husband of Shelby and the father to Miles and Jet, our 3-year-old and 1-year-old.
Dude, parenting is super easy. Have you noticed that?
It's so easy.
Right?
Yeah. Shelby texted me earlier today because she's home with the boys because the daycare's closed.
Yeah.
And a couple weeks ago, Miles caught me with this, like, off-the-top rope flying knee bomb, like, jumped straight onto my back from this chair. And today he got Shelby with like a WWE, like, jump from the turnbuckle, like, belly flop onto her back, and she said, my back is not the same.
I do when people are like, hey, Nate, can you help me parenting? I'm like, I can help you parenting. It's super easy. I could do this. And then they tell me their problem. I'm like, I've never seen that before.
They're like, Nate's about to drop such wisdom on us.
Nate, you want to go fishing? Screw you. All right, what makes you feel most connected with God?
Most connected with God, honestly, in growing up, it was pretty much strictly my quiet time. In that time...
Yeah, tell me, what did that look like for you?
Yeah, so it looked like before I went to school, in high school at least, before I went to school, and this carried into college before I went to classes, I would just spend that time with God. And sometimes it was the 5-10 minutes, but a lot of times what I aim for is to wake up early enough to be able to wake up and spend time with God, and legitimately when I'm talking to Him, give enough time for Him to respond back. You know what I mean? And like give that just that openness to be able to hear back from the Holy Spirit. As husband, dad, genuinely I see God the most in raising my kids, discipling my kids, and still have that quiet time and still have that.
You have a ton of time for quiet time when you have kids. That's the cool thing.
Yeah, it's no longer programmed into my mornings. It is truly I will spend time when I can.
When you're on the toilet.
Which sounds bad.
No,
it really is. It's like, some days Jed, our 1-year-old, wakes up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Like, I'm not gonna get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I don't want to do that. And then sometimes the Miles stays up late, and it's like, well, I'm not gonna do my quiet time at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. Like,
right.
I'd rather go lay down. So sometimes it's just middle of the day, but seeing how they grow and seeing the innocence in some of their stuff, as I just shared the story, like a flying knee bomb, innocence. But no, seeing the innocence of the things they say and how they act and everything like that, man, it's an extremely humbling position to be in.
I think being married and having kids are probably the two greatest ways I have interacted with the gospel, if that makes sense.
It's fair.
Right? Like, sure. Okay, my dad growing up, I had stuff to deal with there.
Yeah.
My mom, dad, growing up with a terminal disease. I think, honestly, though, man, more and more as I live life and see people like interacting, I think it's immediate family. Your immediate family is probably the greatest way you interact with the gospel.
Yeah.
Meaning, all those times you're like, oh, I want to.
Well, I remind Shelby all the time that, I'm significantly higher than her.
You.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. How does that work out for you?
She catches me with the flying knee bomb.
Yeah.
No, but no, I mean, honestly, because inside of our marriage, it's like, well, teamwork. We work on things together. We're Scott and Sarah Frerking did our premarital, and so one of the things they said in there was like, it's not a competition, but it is kind of like a competition of like outserving one another.
Yeah.
And so like the service inside of our marriage is something that I really do hope one day, as I'm standing before God, He says, "Well done, and good and faithful servant." And I would love for Him to give specifics.
Hey, can you tell her how? Can you tell her how?
I would love that. But
hey, speak up, Jesus. She didn't hear you. Do one more time.
Oh no, but I would love for that to be like the thing on the I don't know, the bill of, hey, well done on these things, but you need to check yourself on this, and this, And then I've already shared, raising kids and everything like that, man. The things that come out of their mouths, sometimes you're like Miles the other day, I ended up making dinner, and we got Jet to bed, and Miles was still awake for a little bit longer, but I had just sat down on the couch. He wanted a snack after dinner, of course. And I sat down, and I didn't have my shoes or socks on. He goes, "You needed to take a shower with those toes." And I was like, what does that mean? And he said, "Your feet stink." And I was like, out of the mouth of babes, like, this is ridiculous. My feet don't even stink. And funny enough, like, he's sitting there wearing Crocs all day.
Yeah, right.
His feet smell like
it's like
death, and then
like marinating in there.
Yeah. Disgusting. Ooh. And he's telling me my feet stink.
Jerk. One time, Ari, so you're the youth pastor. You're youth pastor to our daughter. Bang up job, by the way.
Nate, I know your personality too well sometimes, and so I don't know if that's sarcasm or not. This guy sucks.
It's a double entendre. I can do both. No. Okay. So I'm dropping her off at youth, and she goes, "Oof, Dad, you might want to put on deodorant," because I'm doing Wednesday Night Live.
Right.
And I'm like, "Oof, Ari, when's the last time you brushed your teeth?" And she goes, "Is it bad?" I'm like, "Sucks, huh?" And then I just left.
I'll let you think about it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, okay, yeah, it's sure. Maybe I could have put a little deodorant on, but it's not like I'm living in the sewer. But she makes it sound like
Oh, well, a teenager, like preteen, teenager, youth age,
they're disgusting.
significantly more self-conscious of that stuff.
And disgusting.
I mean, true. Yeah. 100%. Yeah. But yeah, significantly more self-conscious of it too. Like you could point out any flaw and they're like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the word? Is it that bad?
I capitalize.
100%. You
that-
do. You do.
No, you have 2 boys. I have girls.
Yep. Yep.
Boys are gross.
Boys are gross.
Girls are disgusting. I'm just leaving it at that. As a dad to two teenage girls, and of our friends who have both like grown boys, grown girls, I tell them that I'm like, hey, boys are gross. They're like, yeah, man, they're really gross. I'm like, but girls are disgusting, and they're like, that's so true. It's a different level. I'm not going to get into the details of it. I'm just saying girls are disgusting. Why boys fall in love with girls blows my mind.
I know.
I understand it, obviously, but
Do you?
having 2 teenage girls, I'm like, yeah. Like, I know I'm gross,
Yeah.
but I'm not disgusting.
I think are gross, and no, hold on. I'm not going to say this 100%, but like, because there are some girls that like, they go out, they sweat, they run all over the place, and they've got that outdoor to them. You know what I mean? That's what boys smell like, a lot.
Just
and
all
like
the time.
that's what my boys smell like a lot because we're outside a lot, and girls, they're so messy.
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
They're just, but it's not just messy, like, oh no, I left my lipstick out. I'm not going to get into the details to protect the guilty or whatever. They're disgusting. I'm just saying. I'm going to leave it at that.
Now, well, and I know Ari and I know Lydia. Like, I feel like maybe I'm wrong in this assumption. I feel like Ari keeps her room like very tidy though, and I feel like Lydia is the opposite. Am I correct in that? I've only been to your house like one time.
No. You're
never seen your teenage girls' rooms.
I'm going to say it this way, not wrong.
Okay.
But I'm not going to say you're correct. Again, I'm not going to give details. Let's just say there's a lot of places that things can be stuck into and hid under.
Okay.
Even though the room is immaculate, you go to get like in my car.
Yeah.
I went over. I'm looking around the car because I just told the girls, "Hey, get your stuff, clean it out, make sure all the garbage is out." And I look around. I'm like, "Okay, they did a good job." Oh, I got to grab that thing that was. And I go in and I'm like, "What is it? It's chewed. It's multiple napkins that have just been chewed on with saliva on it."
Oh.
And I'm like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot that." And I'm just saying, like, that's one example. That's one example. That's like the cleanest example of where Ari will do things that look clean.
Right.
But then you like go to do something and you're like, ah. Anyways.
That's gross.
Youth. Okay, you're a youth pastor. I
am indeed.
Let me ask you this. You know, how old are you?
28.
By the time people reach 28, they're living their dream. They're living the thing. They're like, as a boy, I want to grow up to be this. No, how did you get into it? How did you, and I'm speaking from my own experience, like, I did not want to be in ministry. So, no, how did you get into this? What did that look like for you?
Yeah, so, honestly, when I was a boy, even into, like, early high school, I wanted to be a vet. And I was, like,
really?
dead set, I want to be a vet. And the only thing that really kept me from doing it is, one, it wasn't until my later high school years that I really started to become like a true follower of Jesus.
Okay.
I think the rest of it was, the rest of my time, even early on in following God, it was like, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and that kind of thing. And my youth pastor took notice of it, and so we spent a lot of time together my junior and senior year. And man, he was so influential in my life that ended up, I went to college for a little while, didn't finish anything, but I pursued a degree in ministry, practical theology. But yeah, I fell in love with youth ministry, and that's where I wanted to go. This is where I wanted to end up, and I knew that. I didn't, obviously, when I was 18 years old pursuing that, I didn't know exactly where, but it really was just like, God, you've led me this far. I'll trust you.
Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. This is one of the many resources we make available for free at our website, cultivaterelationships.com. Our resources have helped people grow in their relationship with God and others. We've seen people set free from uncontrollable anger and paralyzing fear. We've witnessed estranged family members be reunited after working through our freedom booklet. We've helped people build healthy relationship and coping habits through our coaching videos. And all of these resources are made available for free because of the generous support of people like you. If you would like to become a partner, please visit cultivaterelationships.com/support. Now, I hope you enjoy the rest of this episode. Wait, where'd you grow up? Was it here in Texas or Louisiana, right?
No, Lord, no. No, I'm originally from Fresno, California.
Wait. Your wife's from Louisiana.
No, she is not. She's from Dripping Springs, Texas.
You guys go to Louisiana, right? Okay, I'm not making that up.
No, we have family friends that live on the Texas-Louisiana border. Okay. So that's where you're at.
I feel like I'm not making this up.
And we go there, I don't know, maybe once, twice a year or something like that. Yeah. And just did a wedding for some of them, actually, like, I don't know, 8-9 months ago. Maybe, no, I think they just celebrated a year, but it doesn't feel like that at all. But yes, so I was born and raised in Fresno. Okay. When I'm 8, I moved. My dad was military. So at 8, we got stationed in Heidelberg, Germany. 10, we moved to Clarksville, Tennessee. 14, moved to Salado, Texas. That's where I graduated.
Got it. Okay.
So right down the road.
And is that the one that the youth pastor was at?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
So 14, moved to Salado, Texas. And then graduated from there. Went to Howard Payne for my first year. And
Where's
then
Howard Payne?
It's in Brownwood.
What kind of a school is it?
It's a small private Christian school, college. Went there. My dad got stationed in Alabama, and he was like, "Hey, if you want to come with us, we'll pay for school." And so I was like, "Okay, perfect, sounds great." And I didn't end up leaving with like $40,000 in student debt, you know. And from there, I did a little bit more school, worked my way through, and 2017, my then girlfriend, Shelby, now wife, said that she was going to work at a church camp called Camp Eagle in Rock Springs, Texas, which is right outside of Kerrville. And so I was like, well, you know, instead of being 750 miles away, why not be under the same leader, you know, camp counselor, compound thing that they have out there. And don't say compound. Listen, you guys have a history here in Texas, the Waco little compound thing. Like, I don't think you guys should use compound. Okay, Father, what's his face? Papa Pilgrim. You better chill out with the isn't that what it's called?
I never was a part of
the cult leader guy.
But I wasn't a part of that.
I know you weren't a part of Papa Pilgrim, but I wasn't a part of Waco.
Well, I know.
Or the Branch Davidians.
Whatever. Anyways. Just saying, like, we as Christians, we got to be careful with use of the word compound.
Okay, it wasn't a compound.
Cult and stuff like that.
It was. Camp Eagle is a 1,500-acre camp in Texas. There's one building that all the counselors stay in. The girls stay on the top level, the boys stay on the bottom level. And I decided that instead of being 700 miles away from her, I would go from one extreme to the next, and that was brought on its own interest for sure.
Sure. Yeah.
But then 2017, I ended up meeting Hill Country Fellowship. They're one of my groups out there. Shortly
Yeah. How
after
did
that,
you connect with Hill Country with that?
So Hunter Simmons, who was the
Yeah.
youth pastor at the time, I connected with him and Levi Holder, who was also here. He was his associate, and just through conversation, I told him like I don't know if ministry is the right place for me, or at least full-time ministry.
Sure.
And they had said, well, like just seeing how you interact with the kids, maybe you should consider praying on that and everything. And I don't know, I hadn't had like an overwhelming sense of like this push to go into full-time ministry again for a long time. And I just took this leap of faith, and it kind of wasn't me even asking, but like, do you guys have any openings at all? Like I'll get in where I fit in kind of deal. So 2017, I ended up coming on as the youth intern as well as the assistant maintenance director or something. So I'm, every other day I'm fixing ice machines and mowing grass and cutting hedges and everything like that. But on Wednesdays, I was, working with youth group and going to school lunches and all that stuff. So, 2018, I became Michael Barnard's associate youth pastor. And then we worked together for a couple years. I left for a short time in 2020, and then 2022, or January 2022, came back as the youth pastor.
Okay.
So I don't know if that was your whole question, but I just
Yeah,
gave you a lot more than
I just
what
wasn't
you.
sure how that connection happened. So you wanted to be in ministry, but you weren't sure if it was like a full-time gig that you were wanting?
Yeah, I mean there was a few things that played into it. My parents were both raised to like
On a compound?
actually they were Branch Davidians. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Thanks for bringing it up. Wow. No. Yeah.
No, my dad was raised in a home. Essentially, his family lost their farm growing up, and so he was raised really, 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 really poor. And my mom definitely has like a middle class background for sure, and it was a bit of them being like, well, are you sure that ministry in general is going to be able to provide for a family and this and that? And there was a lot of my own fears already for that. And, I think it kind of held me back from wanting to pursue like a full-time ministry gig.
Yeah.
And so there was some of that, but it was also just fear.
Sure.
Like,
Yep.
am I even worthy to be in this position? And I always had that calling on my life, but it just kept coming back to, do I belong in this position? Why would you ever call me to this position? And it took literally until like a few years ago that I was finally like, I've been put in this position for a reason.
Yeah.
And so like I was even working in ministry and still saying like, why in the world am I in this position? Like why would you ever call me to this position, God? And it genuinely took just a significant amount of time for him to probably be saying the exact same thing he had always been saying.
Yeah.
But like, God, Kevin, I've created you for this. And like, I mean, Psalm 139, he's knit us together. Like he's spent time with us on us. Yeah. And anyway, I think I've gone way off answering your question. No, but like that's what pushed me to full-time ministry.
No, I was gonna say that's one of the big things. I think I've jokingly compared you and Michael, right? It's always like he was the youth pastor before you, and it's funny because it's like each person brings their flavor of who they are to a ministry. And I'm not even saying good or bad. I'm just saying just their flavor of who they are,
100%.
right? And one of the cool things, and this is something Michael and I we joke about, he's the charts and nerd kind of guy, self-admitted, right? Loves Excel sheets.
Yes.
But that's one of the things that I know when you came on, you would just take the kids out for like Whataburger and do dinners and hang out, and it's one of the, I think, probably obviously more so than planned programs or like what's your ministry method and philosophy. I think just being relational.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
hang out with kids. That's the motto. That
right. You can diminish that, like, and I think people do. Like, oh, do you just babysit? But in the very real, intentional way of no, I am relational with kids, and I mean, we know stories of kids and the homes they come from, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been in ministry, and more specifically youth ministry, for 3 years now.
Collectively, I did it from 2017 to 2020, and then early. It was like I was gone for like a little over a year.
Yeah.
So I've done it for 7, 8 years, 9 years. I don't. Yeah, I think 8 years at this point. What
made you? I don't want to say tap out of the Bible college thing, but yeah, what was it where you were just like, I don't know if I.
So I am. One, I'm not good in a classroom setting.
Man, that blows my mind. That's shocking.
There's the sarcasm.
There it is.
Yeah. No,
I was wondering if that's what it was. It's just like, not my gig.
I left Howard Payne. I could have continued at Howard Payne, and had $120,000 in student debts and kept a 3.0 GPA,
Sure.
and just been middle of the road, got my piece of paper and everything like that. But, man, I quickly realized like school is not for me, at least in that moment it wasn't. And, I mean, my wife and I were having a conversation the other day about going back to school. So like, there is that, but, I'm not, it's not my favorite thing.
You're talking to a guy who took 4 years to go to a 3-year non-accredited Bible school. Yeah. So I'm not one to judge. Don't worry.
No, my dad said from when I was in high school, he was like, Kevin, I love you, but it's probably going to take you every bit of 10 years to finish a 4-year degree.
Do you remember on Tommy Boy when he's like, I went to college? He's like, I went to college for like 10 years. Yeah, they're called doctors.
Yeah.
Shut up, Richard. In the going all the way back to Camp Eagle to now, as you're stepping in, and not to say that you knew everything, but as you're stepping into ministry, what's probably one of the things where you're like, oh, I knew it. Like, I knew this going into it. Like, is there anything that's been confirmed to you as you spent in any topic? I mean, from your relationship with God to relationally, like, is there anything where you're like, oh, I knew ministry was going to be like this or whatever?
I knew that there were going to be a lot of challenges.
Okay.
I didn't know all the challenges for sure. Mm-hmm. When I first got here, I had leaders that were upset about something or another, and it kind of just escalated from there. And so I didn't really expect that.
Yeah.
I knew there was going to be some kids that loved the way that Michael did it versus the way that I do it.
That's hard.
And that's difficult. It brings on its own challenges as well. like, well, Michael never made us do this, or he didn't say this to us.
Yeah.
Well, things change. There's been a changeover.
There's been a
Okay,
shift.
there's a new warden in town,
exactly.
baby. No,
Exactly.
but no. So I knew there was going to be some, some challenges in that way.
Yeah.
I didn't expect them to be, for there to be as many as there have been, but they've all been really good though. Like, they've all grown me significantly.
Sure. What's been the one you're 7 years in now? Are there any where you're like, oh, I did not, I was ill-equipped. I was not prepared. It's been a rough, we know each other's stories, but I know it's been a rough couple of years. But okay, let me rephrase the question this way. What has been the biggest thing over the last year that God has revealed to you with regard to your position as a youth pastor?
I think younger me cared really and truthfully only about the relationship with the student.
Okay.
And I think over the course of the last year, what I have really been trying to dedicate time to is like only, picking out the like 3 or 4 students and
the best ones, of course, right?
yeah. The ones that have been highly churched. I know their parents teach them
that
as
are
well.
super easy. Yeah.
Let me back up a little bit.
Like Lydia and Ariana, like 2 of the best kids.
No, for sure. But actually equipping leaders to do the same thing that I'm about to say, but like focusing on, 2 to 4, 2 to 5, and there's a specific name for it. It's like somebody's number. Like
What do you mean?
There's a name for what I'm describing right now, and I forget what the name of it is. But like focusing on, really honestly, 1 to 5 kids.
One? Is it focusing on the one?
No, because there could be 5.
No, but Jesus says focus on the one.
Oh, that's true.
He doesn't go after the 5. He goes after 1.
Okay. Anyway. This guy.
No, okay. I don't know the name. I don't.
I'll have to look it up for you. And I'll find it for you. But focusing on like 1 to 5 kids, because that, like, if you're truly discipling people, like that's typically all you have the capability and the capacity to actually do. I'll have to find the statistic for you, but we only have the capacity to have like 15 people that we like truly spend time with and like know like pretty much everything about, in our lives. We might know a ton of people, but there can only be about 15 of them that we know so much about and like actually want to pour into, spend time with and stuff like that. So, I've obviously got 3 taken up and, with, Shelby, Miles and Jet. And then, I can fill it with a couple of those guys over there on staff, whatever. But
you want to come over here on this side of the church? We're just chill.
Nathaniel still is not in my group of 15. You're in the axis of evil.
I would take up 15 spots. No, have you and I talked about this? I know Michael and I have about I forget, in my psychology course there was a basically a statistic that we only have enough capacity to have 100 relationships.
Yeah.
So like a community of like 100 people is like our max, top max. And to that point of personal interaction is somewhere. I know the statistic you're talking about, but it's like somewhere in that 12 to 20 range or whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, scooch into the scene, man. You don't have to leave.
Oh, sorry. Sorry.
No, you can.
Okay.
He's like slowly creeping back. Like, I'm out. I'm done.
Just getting comfortable.
Do you want me to blur your face?
Huh? Yeah, and make me talk like this.
Yeah. No,
no one's allowed to know who I am.
Okay, so this goes into I have several questions in light of that topic. One is, right, you're teaching your leaders, hey, you only have a handful of students. You cannot be in charge of all the students.
Right.
And so raising up leaders, which is a huge thing. The other question I have with that, well, one, what's the biggest thing you teach your leaders? Like, what's your biggest, like, hey, if you're going to do one thing, do this. What would that be?
If you're going to do one thing and one thing only, be there.
Okay.
And that's really broad and really general. But like, if they've got a football game, if they've got a softball game, if they've got a tennis match, something like that, you be there as much as possible. And if you can't do it, then shoot them a text, give them a call, do something to
Just
be
that personal connection.
to be there.
Yeah.
If you're going to do one thing above anything else, be there, because before students listen to you, preach at them or want to do a book study with you or something like that, they're going to want to know, hey, is this person actually committed to my life, or is this person just like, not all the time, but sometimes it's like, is this person just like my parents who pops in every once in a while, tells me, attaboy kid, and dips out? Or is this person actually going to stay with me for the long haul? I mean, that's what one leader especially has done. She's been with the same girl since they were in like 6th or 7th grade.
Okay.
And so, she goes to a good bit of their sporting events, activities, outside of the church, outside of school, whatever. She's there, and she has one of the most successful groups that we have.
What's one of the okay, so the parent dynamic with youth ministry. I think you and I were talking. We did youth ministry for about a decade. We got out of it. One, we were transitioning into a different type of ministry. It was going to be young adults, and then moved on to a Bible school.
You became lame. Not Lacey, just you.
As soon
as you put those New Balance shoes on,
I was never.
You were out of youth ministry.
I wore sweaters and sweats to school, man. Here's the thing, I've never cared. See, this is the key to, hey, those listening, watching, I want to give you a key to success. Just don't care. If you try to meet people's expectations, they're going to expect more out of you. If you settle for mediocrity, nobody expects things out of you. That being said,
maybe that was my problem going to college.
No, okay, so serious question is, there's probably like a very concrete thinker listening to this going, oh, wait, what was that? That sounded really smart.
Oh, man.
Okay, the frustrating thing that we dealt with in youth ministry and why we transitioned to adult ministry was you only had an hour, 2 hours, one night a week, and then you would, I hate to say it this way, send them back to their situation.
Yeah.
And we would have parents who are like, hey, you need to fix my kid. And I'm like, I get them 2 hours a week. You have them the rest of the time. Where do you think the disconnect is coming in at? And I guess, how do you handle the pressure of, I mean, there's a lot of pressure and ministry pressure of their soul, and then the just the pressure of like parents going, hey, how come you're not doing this? Hey, how come you, the youth pastor, I don't want their leader, I want you, the youth pastor, to show up at every game. How do you deal with that? How do you and Shelby deal with that?
Honestly, praise God that I've never heard that personally. No one has said that to my face.
I got a text to send you. Never mind.
My text back to you is going to be, they're lost. They're
lost.
I don't know what else I can.
Basically a Judas. They were designed for this.
No, I mean, but to that question, I mean, if I'm being honest, I'm more than likely going to respond, hey, I do have my own life, and I can only spend as much time as I can spend with them.
Yeah.
You know, we have youth group. I do go to sporting events and everything like that, but at the same time, sports aren't necessarily the same.
No. How do you deal with that pressure? Like, what does that look like for being in ministry, having this pressure, whether it's internal pressure of like, oh man, I got to care for these kids, or that external pressure of...
I found that if you just shove it down really deep, no.
See, if you don't care, then people aren't going to expect stuff.
No, no. Sometimes, well, every time this is gonna sound like such a churchy answer, but it's completely true. I have to turn that over to God, and
give me details.
I have to be able to discern and really hear from Him how to discern what I should genuinely care about and what I can absolutely let go.
Got it. Okay.
My job, and it wasn't anybody's job until the 1950s to teach the kids. It was the parents' job. But my job is to be an add-on in addition to what they're learning at home. Mm-hmm. Now, we don't see that as much anymore.
Like a supplemental vitamin.
It should be a supplemental vitamin. You know all about vitamins.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. No, it should be a supplement, but not all the times is it. So how do I...
You're the fish oil pill to their salmon. Got it. Right?
Sure. I guess.
That was like the only vitamin that came to my mind. Lacey and I had a doctor's appointment this morning.
Fish oil pill.
Lacey and I had a doctor's appointment. That was one of the recommendations, was more fish oil. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I hope you're enjoying this conversation so far. This discussion will be continued in our next episode, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.